Oh no, she can't even hold it together in an interview with 7-year-olds. But no wonder Meghan is having a collapse because Martha Stewart's turned on her this week. So too has Oprah Winfrey, both on video. And now the house has just found its way onto a real estate website. They're quietly quitting Montecito because they cannot afford it. So I need you to do something for me right now. It is free. It is easy. It is simple. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That's because over 50% of you watching this video haven't done that yet. And it is the best way to support Outspoken. Yeah, like keep a good heart when you're bullying your sister-in-law who's about to battle cancer. Keep a good heart when you're snubbing and secretly recording your own father who has just lost half his leg in a Filipino hospital. Oh, yeah, keep a good heart when you're bullying the late Queen Elizabeth II on an international scale while accusing her of racism. Piss off. But this Cookie Queen's campaign is going to fail because unfortunately Meghan Markle is using it to try and sell her jam. And the stories are completely unbelievable. Of course, GB News, which is suckered via its new Omid Scobie best pal Cameron Walker. Meghan Markle leaves interviewer stunned with bizarre jam admission. But as Queer Lips of Truth put it, that's because the bitch is lying. No reasonable human being takes Girl Scouts cookies and dips them in jam. Meghan Markle is only trying to sell jam. Everything about her is contrived. And when People magazine reported that Meghan Markle dips her Thin Mint Girl Scouts cookies in jam, the Royal News Network replied, I call BS, and an exceptionally bad attempt to connect her brand to this movie. And the brand is failing. There's a new email, ludicrously written. I reckon she's probably using AI now for this weird sort of poetry where she writes, there is a certain rhythm to summer, the first flowers opening in the morning, herbs gathered for the table, fruit ripening in the warmth of the day. Oh, do piss off. We'd rather listen to Martha, who knows that this is a disaster. As Hans pointed out, Martha Stewart is bluntly calling out Meghan. We were at the same table, but she wasn't my guest. They're not direct friends. You can't be actress to a princess to a homemaker. She can't cook. She's back from the palace and talking a bit about it. She didn't keep it private. Yes, this bombshell from Martha Stewart, courtesy of People magazine, now on video, and it's even more delicious. Now, when it comes to Oprah Winfrey, all of a sudden, she has had this dawning realization about the fact that the public have turned on her. And the public have turned on her, of course, because she perpetuated Meghan Markle's lies. And that's the reason why we're seeing this attempt to rewrite history with the Vanity Fair interview last week, where she finally tried to justify that. But as Nancy Sidley pointed out, she's upset that people have finally got a voice to call out her bullshit. In the past, she could get away with almost anything. Now, Oprah no longer has that luxury. But what about the negativity she directed at the public when they didn't have a voice? And I just want to show you this video of Oprah Winfrey where basically she's now claiming that everyone's just horrible. No opes. Basically, we figured you out and we turned on you because of what you did during that interview. That's what's changed, not the good-hearted nature of the public overall. What is happening to us? Opes, we woke up to you and what you did. I mean, P. Dinah, firstly, you can just tell, can't you? There is no connection between her and those kids. She can't stand those kids. She's giving them odd looks. She's going through the motions. I mean, she's not someone, we've seen this a lot over the years. She's not someone that connects with kids. But to try and sell the idea of heart and being a good person and love and using children to do that, I just don't think this is the right strategy to sell this movie, because all anyone's saying says is like, Meghan, if you had a heart, you'd speak to your dad. You know, if you had a heart, you wouldn't have done that to Prince Philip. If you had a heart, you wouldn't have done that to Elizabeth II. Do you know what I mean? The strategy is whack.
Right. And it's almost like Meghan has all of these trails of bad behavior that have followed her throughout the years. And now she's trying to show something that we just don't buy because we see the trail of dead bodies that follow her. We see all the bad behavior. And so when she shows up to speak and to try to sell something, we don't believe it because we already know the history. We know how Meghan shows up. We've been seeing it and talking about it for years. Meghan just can't win. There's no way for her to win, but to really, really, truly, and believably change your attitude, change who you are. You can't just, get the questions and craft an answer that sounds good and think people are going to buy it. We live in a completely different age now with technology, and so much has been said and talked about with Megan. The consumer is a lot more, attuned to, the kind of person Megan is. And so it's just falling on deaf ears with her. And she just doesn't even look comfortable. She looks so scripted and contrived and unbelievable. It's like Megan is just seriously wasting everyone's time that has shown up to try to do this with her because it's just not hitting right at all.
The total opposite, P. Diner, of Martha Stewart, who you can just tell is just speaking the truth, right?
Oh yeah, Martha, she hits. I mean, she's gangsta. I'm telling you, this is a woman that rolls with Snoop Dogg. She's been to prison, and she still has it. She's going to say what she wants to say. And it doesn't matter. And bless Martha Stewart for coming out and even saying this. I think a lot more celebrities that have been in contact with Megan need to call her out. They need to say things that we're all thinking because we don't respect them, but we totally respect Martha Stewart for saying what, just in the very casual, nonchalant kind of way that she said it. We feel that. Yeah, Martha. And she has exposed a lot just from that little tiny snippet soundbite that she has made. So, we are in a position now where we see Megan coming, and when we see a celebrity call it out the way that it is, we're like, right on. We feel you. And Martha, she is just that woman. I'm telling you, I really do respect this woman. I really do. The complete opposite with Oprah. Because she tries to cover it up, things that she was saying about why are people so hateful or whatever, because we see that you're trying to cover it all up. You're not honest with anything. That's why we are the way that we are towards you because we don't feel that you're being, upfront with people about things, and Martha is. I
And
love
she can
her.
just never shut up, right? Because today she has been briefing to the Daily Mail, trying to make us believe that Martha Stewart was lying. A source close to Meghan saying that Martha must have been confused because the pair were not seated next to one another. The insider said, and this has clearly come directly from her team to the Mail, Meghan was asked by someone else about her European vacation. She said it was nice, and that was the extent of it. I think she must have been confused. And it's like, I'm sorry, Meghan. We believe Martha. Martha,
Yeah.
who has, 7 decades of telling us the truth, 7 decades of
Yeah.
sharing every aspect of her life, 7 decades of total authenticity, including, as you point out, going to prison, talking about how that went down when she came out. What you have, Meghan, is 10 years. And can you believe it's been 10 years? I know there's this new You magazine cover coming out, and it's like, 10 years. But what you have, Meghan, is 10
Yeah.
years of lies. So I'm sorry,
Right.
I trust Martha.
That's
And you're
right. You
calling
don't trust
Martha a
me.
liar.
Right. Just make it worse, don't you? Just make it worse for yourself. Like, just shut your mouth. We don't believe you. And we believe Martha because she keeps it real. Like, why would she be confused or make something up like that? This woman is winning, 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 and you're not. So we know the person that is not winning is going to lie, make up things. So we believe Martha. She wasn't confused. Megan is just trying to get out of the obvious trouble that she is in because I would think it's game over because of, what has been said about her time with the king. She should have not said anything. And she knows she did. And this is why she's speaking out about it now. She's trying to cover her, her tracks.
And Pete Diner, there's also the suggestion that Meghan Markle is trying to sell the house, but do so on the quiet. Like she can't just put it on the market because imagine. So this idea of getting it on the real estate websites, trying to sort of suggest, oh, look, our kitchen has been updated, even though nothing has really changed.
Now, this is an unexpected celebrity clash. Meghan Markle and Martha Stewart are two names you wouldn't normally expect to see at the center of the same royal controversy. But according to the reports surrounding the story, comments attributed to Martha Stewart have sparked a reaction involving Meghan Markle and an alleged conversation about King Charles. And there's one word dominating the headlines: liar. But before we accept that characterization, let's find out exactly what was said and what is actually known. The controversy appears to center on comments attributed to Martha Stewart about an alleged conversation involving the king. And this is where context becomes extremely important. A headline can turn a nuanced comment into a confrontation in just a few words. So the question is, did Martha Stewart actually make a specific claim about Meghan, or has the story been amplified through media interpretation? Meghan's name enters the story because of the way the alleged conversation has been interpreted. If Meghan or someone speaking on her behalf disputes the account, that's significant, but a disagreement over what was said isn't automatically proof that one person deliberately lied. That's an important distinction, especially when we're dealing with conversations that may not have been recorded or independently documented. Martha Stewart isn't just another celebrity commentator. She's built a decades-long public reputation and has interacted with some of the world's most recognizable figures. That makes any reported comment involving the British royal family potentially newsworthy. But it also means we need to be careful. Her celebrity status doesn't automatically make every reported recollection accurate or inaccurate. Then there's King Charles himself. The British monarchy has always generated enormous interest in private conversations, behind-the-scenes relationships, and celebrity encounters. But when the story involves an alleged private conversation, viewers should immediately ask, what is the source? Was anyone else present? Is there a direct quotation? And has either side independently confirmed the account? Those questions matter more than the dramatic headline.
Right, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that, they're just trying to put it out there because I think a lot of people already know about it. I think it's been circulating for a while now, and yeah, clearly she is trying to get it out there that, things are improving with the home or whatever, like people may or may not be interested in it. I don't know. I just think, Megan is in a world of hurt around a lot of things. And this is just another example of something that she's, trying to, get out of in terms of the debt that they're in and they cannot afford that home. I mean, it's so many things that are going wrong. And it's like the more they try to say or to put out there, the worse it is. It just seems like who are the people in her circle that are putting all of this out there? I mean, don't they know that we are on to her? Like, we get it. Nothing is working. Like, what has worked for them, Dan? What?
P. Diner, I just do not think this is going to happen in a million years. Like, absolutely no way. That's not to say that there are not advisors who believe that this would be the best thing. That's not to say that Liam Maguire and Sunshine Sachs have probably put on the table, look, you could apologize in this way. But, Harry and Meghan just are not going to do that. Harry is so pig-headed that even when it came to that ludicrous statement issued after the court case, which could end up costing him millions and millions of pounds, when he was asked about it by the Times newspaper, he said, I stand by every word. He's always said that he stood by every word and spare. I just personally think hell will freeze over before we receive an apology. Stranger things have happened, though. What do you think?
Well, first of all, the fact that they were saying that you don't have to apologize or walk back everything that you've done. Well, yeah, you do. Like, that didn't even make sense to me, Dan. First of all, yes, you have to say that you made the mistakes, not that the past 5 years or whatever, 6 years have caused enormous pain. That is complete nonsense. They would have to go say exactly what they're saying they don't have to do. That's why, yeah, it won't happen because you're not going to be able to talk about this in a way that makes it sound like you're not saying you're sorry. That makes absolutely no sense. So Yeah, it's not going to happen. They're not going to admit to anything. We know that that is the only way you'll be able to get out at least, the issues with, your relationship with the king is by saying you're sorry. I mean, it's the most difficult thing to do, to admit you're sorry and that you are wrong for what you have done. And that is too difficult, and they won't do it. And the most difficult things to do in life are usually, most often, the right thing to do. So they're not going to do it because it's too difficult. Okay, they want the easy way. They've always wanted the easy way, so they won't do it.
And also, it's
Absolutely.
not coming from a genuine place, because Rob Shooter also reporting in another exclusive that Meghan did actually want a big birthday for her 45th, but no one wanted to be part of it. He reported sources telling him that the original plan was an over-the-top party worthy of the lavish New York baby shower and fairy tale royal wedding that once defined her life. Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres, Serena Williams, Amal Clooney. Meghan loves a big party, one source tells Naughty But Nice. She envisaged another iconic celebrity gathering where everyone who's anyone would be there. It was supposed to remind the world she was still Hollywood royalty. But reality intervened. It quickly became obvious the guest list wasn't coming together. Another insider says people were busy, relationships had changed, and the excitement around Meghan just isn't what it once was. The big party quietly disappeared. And of course it did, P. Diner, because, I mean, you just look at the day. You look at the day. Two Instagram posts from her, two Instagram posts from celebrities. And I use that word loosely, Kelly J. Zadge and Tracy Robbins. I mean, really, they are her ultimate loyalists who don't really have anything to lose.
Hollywood has kicked you to the curb. Deal with it. It's not going to be any better. This is as good as it's going to get for you. If this is your wake up call, you're screwed up and you're done. That's what it says to me. You're done. Okay. So what can she do now but try to sell jam and create some nonsense with dipping your jam in some cookies? I mean, girl, you are desperate. That is just off the charts stupid. Really. I just think it is such a comedy show now. Just watching her try to be relevant to make sense of things that don't make sense. It is one of those things where you have to have, like I said before, your coming to Jesus moment that you screwed up. And she's never going to have that moment because the ego in this woman is too big. She doesn't want to acknowledge the failure. So she's going to continue to embarrass herself, look completely just ignorant in terms of all the things she's trying to do. Really, it has to stop. It's comedy hour for her right now, Dan.
It is
I mean,
interesting,
no.
though, because in this 10 years of Meghan sort of era that we're in, kicking off with this You magazine cover at the weekend, actually, there are 2 points of view. So the first, hilariously, I think, encapsulated by the Babylon Bee, the satirical website, which posted Meghan Markle announces Netflix show about how hard it's been dealing with Kate Middleton's cancer diagnosis. And I'm like, yep, that's how the world now sees her. She's a laughingstock. Then you've got the You magazine cover, but actually Dan Wakeford's analysis in his Celebrity Intelligence, and we do point out he was a mainstream media supporter of Harry and Meghan for many, many years, but his argument is actually that Harry and Meghan have got exactly what they wanted 5 years after leaving the royal family. And he spells it out into 5 different asks. He calls it the scorecard. And he writes, P. Dina, 1 is the title and family access. He says that's kept and warming. 3, visit to Charles since the 2024 cancer diagnosis, plus a private reunion between the King, Camilla, and the Sussex children at Highgrove last month that Meghan notably didn't post. 2, patronages kept selectively. Well Child every September, Scotty's Little Soldier, and a growing Invictus Games push ahead of next summer's Birmingham edition. 3, private income achieved, but not as robustly as hoped. As Celebrity Intelligence reported exclusively in April, the numbers behind his production company, Private Ventures, and the speaking circuit have fallen short of projections. 4. Self-directed schedule. Achieved. He surfs in California one week and lands in the UK the next on his own timeline, not the firm's. 5. Geographic split. Achieved. Functionally full-time in the US with UK visits layered on top rather than the reverse. Score that against the 5 things he actually asked for in January 2020, and he achieved 5 or 5. So as I say, P. Dinah, this is coming from a long-time Prince Harry and Meghan Markle ally, but does he have a point that actually, in some ways, they are contravening the Sandringham Summit and have got what they want, even if it's not through success? Do you know what I mean? It's just sort of come through a stubbornness and a determination to rewrite the rules and ignore the late Queen.
I think looking at their reputation and how they have shown up in view of all the celebrities and people that view them, I don't think it's a win at all for them. I think these are the crumbs, the leftovers, the things that you would get just by default. I mean, the bigger picture is completely devastating of the things that they did not get. You know, they are a complete laughingstock. They are an embarrassment. They are the butt of jokes. They are not to be taken seriously. And Harry is not making nearly the money that he had hoped. I mean, he has come down on his asking price for even giving speeches now. So I think it's just a way to spin it to look like success. But when you look at what is still yet to come in terms of Bali, the lawsuit, the money owed, the reputation, the loss of relationships with the royal children, with their children, there's a lot more that has not happened and worked out for them than what you can say here with these little leftover crumbs of success. I don't buy it at all. No.
Yeah, this is not what success looks like to me. Okay.
No.
And like, we know the only reason they're back or even wanting to be back on any level is because of the fact that the money has run out. But guess who's also back? P. Dinah. That weird little creep. Oh my God, he is looking even odder.
I know.
He is looking so, you know, I'm talking about Omid Scobie. He is
I know.
looking like a freak show. It's actually so scary, P. Dinah.
This is probably the most important part of the entire story. Calling someone a liar is a serious accusation. It suggests deliberate deception, not simply a disagreement, a misunderstanding, or two people remembering an event differently. Unless there is clear evidence showing that someone knowingly made a false statement, we should be careful about turning a disputed account into a proven accusation. So why has this story generated so much attention? Because it combines several ingredients that virtually guarantee clicks: Meghan Markle, the royal family, King Charles, Martha Stewart, and an alleged confrontation. It's a perfect recipe for a viral headline. But viral doesn't necessarily mean verified. There's also a much bigger story here about the way Meghan Markle is covered in the media. Supporters often argue that almost anything she says or does becomes exaggerated by critics. Her detractors argue that she has deliberately cultivated a public narrative around her relationship with the royal family. Those opposing interpretations have existed for years. And once that history is established, even a relatively small celebrity story can become another major chapter in the ongoing debate. For me, the sensible approach is simple: follow the evidence. If there is a direct statement from Meghan, show it. If Martha Stewart made a specific comment, show the original wording. If there is a correction or denial, include that too. But if the story relies on unnamed sources, interpretations, or exaggerated headlines, viewers deserve to know that. That's how you separate a genuine controversy from a media-created spectacle. So is this really a Meghan Markle versus Martha Stewart showdown? Or is this another example of a relatively specific claim being transformed into a much bigger royal controversy? Until the original statements and evidence are examined, we shouldn't automatically accept the most dramatic version of the story. One thing is certain, though: put Meghan Markle, Martha Stewart, and King Charles in the same headline, and the internet is going to pay attention. What do you think? Did Meghan have a legitimate reason to challenge the story, or has this controversy been blown completely out of proportion? And most importantly, do you think this is a genuine disagreement over what was said, or something much bigger?